forcing the fights. That's the X factor right here at the team, and still not a fan favourite. Let's see how much more convincing they need to do.
Hang on, yeah, that is their second.
Yeah, and in the early stages, we've only had 7 rounds of play here, so Navi are feeling under the pump. Whatever game plan they came on in, remember, they opted to start on the T side of Inferno. This is a gift right now for Heroic. We're in the CT side of meta. Heroic are going to be more than happy with getting to start on the CT side of their map choice, where they knew that they could bring it home to close it out. And Navi, they want to set the tone, they want to set the pace. Well, they've set the tone and the pace, and right now, they're 3 rounds in a hole.
Chad, I imagine you can put yourself in the shoes of a player like Refresh as you're hitting this spray down. Quarterfinal, one of the biggest games of your career. You've had a bad tournament. You can attest that that does a lot for the rest of this game.
Yeah, his confidence is going to be, look, he is the X factor of this team. So if he's finding action early like that, when it gets late, when it gets into clutch scenarios, when it gets into the backline, that's when Refresh is really going to activate here. So if he's feeling himself, if he's able to hit shots like that, it's going to make him much more confident to make those plays. And speaking of plays,
Casper, Cady, and Muller once again up to no good. He's been caught out, loses the support of Shush. The AWP lives on.
It's a bit of a change here, an opening for NAVI. Now they've been able to find a bit of a kill that's going to create a massive gap across the map, because up until this point, we've got to the last 30 seconds and everybody's been alive from both teams. So this round is definitely going to look much different to the previous.
I don't think we've seen the B players tested in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's the thing, it's just poking them and hoping as we're on gun watch here. They're doing so well over there on the CT side that they're throwing away AKs.
Again, with this Navi pressure all over the map, you know, Heroic are scratching their heads as to where the final commit will be made. They have managed to string together 5 consecutive rounds. It's Navi's turn to try and buck that trend. There hasn't been more than 1 casualty for Heroic.
He should have spotted something there, Cadian. Should have seen the bootstraps.
Or not. Oh, he's dead. He's got to be dead. Run down by Electronic. And oh, damn, Refresh. Splattered across the site. And that should mark and signify NAVI doing exactly what we discussed. They might even have 5 alive on this one. Forcing Heroic to reach into their pockets, and NAVI reminding them this is not a walk in the park, this is a quarterfinal.
Yeah, and this time they actually stayed in one of those aggressive maneuvers, right? Up until this point, we've seen Cadian go for peaks, but then drop back. And just to note, our Obs team catching that gun, they actually scooped it up from top mid, they took it back to spawn, and they threw it away because there was a couple of players for NAVI there who were just on Tech 9s. So really doing their housekeeping here, Heroic. It's those little details right there now. Didn't help them in a round like this, but it's a fun little detail to keep track of nonetheless.
Yeah, only it's a Galil for bit. I know one player I'd stick on a Galil than an AK one-shot headshot. What was his headshot? I saw it on
I think it was like 70% or something.
70%.
Yeah, well, that's what we've come to expect from this guy, right? The new headshot machine.
70% of his kills straight to the head, whilst being a heavy contributor and role player within your role.
Well, this is the thing, right? He only has 2 kills to his name right now, but coming into the playoffs, he is in MVP form, right? He's leading the pack. He is the best player in the tournament right now. But there's a couple of other names we can throw into that.
19 years old.
Yeah, well, and he's already won a major and a whole bunch of other massive tournaments. This kid is just a monster here, but so is Electronic. He just busted open that site right there. A couple of clean entries from him. The AWP out now for Simple, so this is where the tune can change a bit more. The big man with his big weapon up against Cadian on the other side. Smoke to delay. Perfecto dribbling one forward here to try and buy himself a little bit of space. And oh, there's more than what you'd expect towards the top of Banana here. High flash.
Down, trying to counter with a flash of his own, but still blind. It doesn't matter. Perfecto stays stalwart and maintains top Banana. Simple cast his gaze the same. It seems Heroic are making an executive decision.
In rounds like this, you have a hope and a prayer. You're hoping the response with that aggressive stance of Banana forces them elsewhere. They're going to stay one step ahead of Boomich in these mid-rounds. But NAVI, as we've discovered, they are not in a rush, not by any means.
Could be a lot resting on the shoulders here of the leader. Time-sensitive mission here for NAVI. Can they convert this opening pick? Smoke will deny Cadian. Oh, not! Catches one. Thank God it's the M4 for Cadian. He lives on, just about. Refresh looking to stand and bang. Both of them are, and they've already repelled Electronic. No answers in mid.
Time's a problem here.
It's a pull, 20 seconds, starting to close the gap. Tighten the noose, Simple call off. It's a double again from Refresh. And it looks like Heroic have done it again. Refresh with the double. Destroys NAVI on the late commit, and only one is Boomich. See you later, Alligator. That's 12-4. Refresh has come to the stage, revitalized.
Yeah, this is going to start feeling really good for Refresh now. He's had two massive multi-kill rounds over towards A, just denying their entrance up middle. And this pace, again, seems to be a bit of a problem for NAVI here. They had to rely on Electronic in the previous there to just crack open that site single-handedly. But time here, coming up mid, through an incendiary. This is well done by Heroic, holding onto that utility. Really stalling out NAVI, who can get back into a buy, but want to crack this nut.
They got every bell and whistle they could possibly desire. The black and yellow might not be ready for this. Tessa's heavily flashed. Looking to maintain control, but it might be one man on our screens. Refresh to seize all the control. Already pushed up down mid. Simple's laughing at him. Glocks him down, cancels his plans. And this is a very different looking round already. Quick response in util. Down with a big role to play in this round. Smoke will hold them at bay.
They know this is coming. They have a great read here in Stown. Here's the door locked. There is no way forward. There is no way back. NAVI, they only have one choice, and here they go.
Oh, flashed off. Tessus lives on. Second flash. Oh! Still blind. Still knocks Tessus lights out. And they have to get across. And they will, facilitated by the spray. It's perfect from NAVI. A flawless take of the B site.
Had all the info right there, Heroic. I know they're in a numbers disadvantage situation, but going to be hoping for a little bit more in a situation like that. NAVI, when the fights come their way, this is two rounds, two of the gun rounds right now, where there's been more aggression coming out of Heroic. They've been able to blow them out, find the trades, get themselves into the rounds, and then just convert these number advantages here. So Heroic are going to have to think a little bit differently. I know they're feeling confident. I know Refresh probably has the spawn. He's like, boss man, let me run down mid here. Let me take a fight. But in rounds where they've taken those aggressive maneuvers, it has fallen apart for Heroic. The Danes might need to reel it in.
Does that round strike you as what NAVI have been waiting for?
Yeah, they want those aggressive maneuvers from Heroic, whether it's at the start of the round or whether it's in the mid-round, because this is why they have been in such a slow pace. They're happy to take the fights. They just want to take the fights on their terms. They don't want to be running into your setups. They don't want to have nades in their hands. They want to just be sitting back, allow your aggressive maneuver to happen. When Heroic have taken their time, right, when they've sat back, they've been good with their utility, they're converting the rounds because NAVI only have 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's a 5v5. The CTs are going to have that advantage. Good opener from Bit there. Simple on the clock was great, but it's that one right there from Electronic, because if Tessus gets 1 or 2 kills, that round is on. Heading over towards spawn. Stown would have been in a fast banana flank and clawing their way back into this NAVI now. You can see Ancient up next, picked by NAVI on a bit of a streak on that one, a hot streak, and Nuke is the third and deciding map if we do need to get there.
It's a very hot map, Paul. Starting on Inferno as opposed to closing.
Yeah, well, let's see if this one has the same level of fireworks here. Definitely delivering in the early stages. And as I mentioned, it's more like chess right now, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely feeling each other out, trying to see who's a bit more tactical in their decision-making, who can outmaneuver one another on the map. And Heroic are the ones who are starting to feel themselves and take that fight, but that's a conversation that needs to be had. hopefully from that timeout, one that they did address. Again, into the standard spread from NAVI. Just going through their paces here. Early flashes to deny the aggressive AWP, to deny any space in Electronic. He's the man to test top mid.
Here's a very aggressive CT smoke you saw up mid there, but Heroic not willing to buckle under the initial pressure of NAVI.
They don't have a whole lot of information right now, Heroic. They're operating in the dark here.
Oh. Electronic and Simple. Quite a pairing, and oh, in the open, in limbo. You can see the hesitance from both squads. More smokes arriving. Threatening on both facets. And this is the fight they've been waiting for. You can see just how much pandemonium is in the comms for the Danes. They're pulled by Electronic. This Puppet Master knocking the head off a refresh. He will go down, but mission accomplished. Surging forward now, the Flames again arrive. Well timed.